Are you a Delaware first-time homebuyer? Then I've got some great news for you. The state of Delaware just passed a bill that gives an exemption to first-time homebuyers on a portion of the state transfer tax. Hello, I'm John Thomas with Prime Residential Mortgage, here to give you an update on this new bill that just passed August 30th, 2018. So the state transfer tax currently is 4% on the purchase price of any home bought or sold in Delaware. Commonly, it's split 2% to the buyer, 2% to the seller. Now, that transfer tax was increased last year, August 1st, 2017, where it was 3% and it went up to 4%. So it was 3%, 1.5% was going to the county, 1.5% was going to the state. So the state decided to increase their portion of the transfer tax by 1%. So it went from 1.5 to 2.5%. Add that to the county's 1.5. That's how we get the 4% we currently have. Now, what was just passed was an exemption for Delaware first-time homebuyers on that increase. So it was increased 1%, 0.5% to the seller, 0.5% to the buyer. So all first-time homebuyers will receive a 0.5% exemption on the state portion of the transfer tax. So that is great news. So if we dig into this, if we dig into the details, it's an exemption of a 0.5% of the purchase price up to $400,000. So you could potentially save up to $2,000 when you purchase a home on the state portion of the transfer tax. So let me give you an example to go over that. Let's say you're buying a home for $250,000. The property transfer tax of 4% is a total of $10,000. $5,000 to the buyer, $5,000 to the seller. So of the buyer's $5,000, the state portion is 1.25%. The county portion is 0.75%. So the state portion is $3,125. The county portion is $1,875. That gives us a total of $5,000. So the state is now going to exempt first-time homebuyers from a 0.5% of that $3,125 that the state is entitled. So that would save you $1,250 when you purchase a $250,000 house in the state of Delaware if you're a first-time homebuyer. So who qualifies for the refund? Well, some great news. They actually made it retroactive all the way back to August 1st, 2017. So if you are a Delaware first-time homebuyer that is buying or has bought a house since August 1st, 2017, and if you paid the full transfer tax, you're exempt from 0.5% of the state portion. So they define a first-time homebuyer as someone who has never owned a home, and that is defined as everyone that is purchasing a home. So if you're married and your spouse has bought a home and you're both buying a home together, even though you're a first-time homebuyer, the spouse is not, you would not be entitled to the new exemption on the first-time homebuyer transfer tax. Now, if your spouse has never bought a home and you're buying a home and she is not on the mortgage, she's not on the sales contract, and she's not going on the deed, you're buying the house by yourself, you're going to be the sole owner, then you would be entitled to the transfer tax exemption up to a purchase price of $400,000. So that is one downside, is it does require everyone buying the home to be a first-time home buyer. So since it's retroactive, if you already bought a home since August 1st and you've already paid that transfer tax and you are eligible as a first-time home buyer, how do you get your money back? Well, that's a great question. What you're going to do is you're going to want to fill out a form. It's Form 5205 Schedule 1. All right, I'm sorry, 5402 Schedule 1. So Form 5402 Schedule 1. There's a link in the blog post on DelawareMortgageLoans.net where you can download that form. You would fill out that form and submit it to the Delaware Division of Revenue, and they will get you a refund of 0.5% of the state transfer tax that you paid. They will send that back to you. Now, they're saying you do need to allow up to 4 to 6 weeks for them to process the refund. But so you want to download the form, send it into the state of Delaware. 4 to 6 weeks, you should get your refund back. So that's great news. Now, if you're moving forward, if you're a Delaware first-time home buyer, you want to get that exemption. It's going to be done at the closing table by the Delaware real estate attorney that's handling your settlement. They are going to fill out Form 5405 at the day of settlement. So make sure your attorney is filling out Form 5405. This is brand new. So your attorney may or may not be using that form at settlement depending on how when you watch this video. So make sure they are filling out Form 5405 at the settlement. There's a link in the blog post as well to download that form so you can see what it looks like. And that means you will not pay the fee at settlement. You'll be exempt at the settlement. So if you're a first-time home buyer in the state of Delaware, not only do you get the state exemption, you could possibly also get a county exemption for the entire county transfer tax. The county transfer tax is 0.75%. So if you're buying in a county, which is Kent, Newcastle, or Sussex County, as long as you're not in a municipality or inside a city limits of municipality, such as the town of Middletown, if you're inside a municipality, they get the county transfer tax, you will not be exempt. But if you're in the county, you'd be exempt from the 0.75% from the county and also from the 0.5% from the state. So all you would pay when you purchase a home out of the total 4% transfer tax is 0.75%. So that is huge news. That's great for Delaware first-time home buyers. Saves you thousands of dollars on the purchase of a home. And then if you have any questions on the state transfer tax exemption, or if you need to get pre-approved for a mortgage, just give us a call, 302-703-0727, or go online, DelawareMortgageLoans.net. Look forward to seeing you guys next week.